Hey everyone. So today it's going to be two parts for this video. I'm going to start with marinating some chicken, and then tomorrow I'll be going through you with how to make a buttered chicken. So what you're going to need is about 1 cup of Greek plain yogurt, about 2 or 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, salt to taste, black pepper to taste, about 2 tablespoons of turmeric, and a tablespoon of garlic powder, a half tablespoon of cayenne, 2 tablespoons of Garam masala, and then a tablespoon of cumin. So I'm going to go ahead and get my seasonings in here for the marinade before I get my hands dirty with this chicken. I have about 2 pounds of chicken, 1 large breast, and then a little over a pound of chicken thighs. And this is all going to get cubed up. Generous with my masala. Turmeric is one of the more important seasonings for color on this. And then tomorrow, this chicken will marinate for about 24 hours. It's gonna get heavy cream, butter, onions, garlic, ginger, some cilantro, some tomato product, and that's about what I can remember at the moment. So let me get all that yogurt in here. With a wee bit of lemon juice. Go ahead and mix that around. It's going to turn into this tannish, pinkish salmon color, I guess. Yogurt behaves kind of like buttermilk does for fried chicken. Has really breaks down and tenderizes the meats. You'll see yogurt in a lot of marinades in the Middle East and India. It really is, it's almost kind of important for like marinated lamb. Yeah. Chicken, doesn't need quite as much marinade, but if I was doing like a lamb masala, I would definitely want yogurt marinated the day before. And then you're kind of just cutting this in little bite-sized cubes. This isn't going to be shredded, so you kind of want to cut your chicken in convenient bite-sized chunks. And then you're just going to go ahead and mix it around, make sure all the marinade coats it. And then it needs to sit at least 12 hours. In this case, it's going to sit almost 24 hours by the time I get back to it. And this will help speed up the tenderization process of the chicken when I cook it. Because basically I want this to be about as tender as pulled chicken, but just like not shredded throughout my whole dish. No, some landed on the ground. That's okay. Those tinies. Good. And voila. Alright. Hold on. My hands are dirty, so I don't want to press my iPad just yet. I will be back with y'all tomorrow with making butter chicken. Hey everyone. So we're going to continue on with butter chicken today. So the chicken sat out for a little bit, marinated overnight, got up to room temperature, or closer to room temperature. So that's about 2 pounds of chicken with that marinade I made yesterday. Gonna use 2 onions, diced up. Basically a clove of garlic here, or a bulb of garlic. Some lime juice at the very end. Some cilantro at the very end as well, at the same time as the lime juice for flavor. I'm going to use about 4 tablespoons of butter, a 28-ounce can of crushed tomato, a 6-ounce can of tomato paste, probably a cup of heavy cream coming in at the very end. Putting it in too early will cause it to split and curdle and look gross. This is about 2, maybe 3 tablespoons of ginger. All that's going to go in here. Gonna spray down with some oil as well, in addition to the butter. Some chicken stock is gonna thin out the tomato product. Some roll cut squash and zucchini is gonna go in there somewhere like a quarter of the way from the end to give a little more volume to the chicken dish. Salt and pepper to taste. And then we're gonna bloom these seasonings today. Basically like 2 tablespoons of garam masala, half tablespoon of cayenne, 1 tablespoon of chili powder. I'll do a tablespoon of turmeric. I'll do a tablespoon of cumin, a tablespoon of curry powder, and probably about half this remaining cinnamon here. And that's all going to get cooked with the butter at the same time. This is called blooming. That is so that the seasonings aren't as harsh. Basically cooking the seasonings oil by themselves for like 10-ish minutes. Helps reduce their bitterness and brings out a more nutty or well-rounded flavors to them. So I might get that going soon. Right now I'm going to work on my veggie cuts. Gotta examine this piece of zucchini. It was a little soft for my liking. I could just set the zucchini aside first because I won't be coming back to it for a while. The chicken's probably going to cook. When the chicken's all together, the sauce is probably going to cook and break down for 30 to 40 minutes before I'll add the zucchini in, because I don't want the zucchini to turn to mush. So I put it in towards the beginning. Go ahead and get my pot going over there and get this butter melted while I'm doing the rest of the cut work. We're going to do a fairly small dice in these onions because you kind of want them to blend into the sauce. And when I hear the the butter start to sizzle, I'm gonna toss in all those seasonings. And it's gonna be going while I'm working these other veggies. Alrighty. Let's get you all this little bit right here. Oh my. The onions are making me cry. Oh, I just realized from this camera angle you can't see my tears. That was intentional. I just heard that sizzle, so I'm going to go ahead and dump in all my seasonings. So, 2 tablespoons of garam masala. Oh boy. Okay. A tablespoon of curry powder. Tablespoon of cumin, tablespoon of chili, that was a little under a tablespoon of cinnamon. Shakes of cayenne, and a tablespoon of turmeric, okay. So, that's what it looks like now. It's not going to look too different, especially in this camera lighting. What's going to happen is, over time, this grittiness you see in the spatula is going to go away. So, one of the key things here is to make sure your oil doesn't actually burn. So you're going to put your eye on low heat, or both your eyes in this case. Rinse off this spatula so you can see the progression of the grittiness as time goes on. essentially the same thing you do as I'm blooming these seasonings in oil, well, butter and oil, which is oil. But then other methods of like softening up your seasonings is toasting them. So what you do is you take all those seasonings I had, get them on a skillet, and then be constantly moving them on your skillet. But it's a little easier to break down your seasonings in oil as opposed to a skillet, because it's also, since there's no liquid in your skillet helping you out, it's very easy to make them burn if you're not paying attention all the time. Some would recommend I actually bloom them for a half hour beforehand, but since this is a slow simmer sauce and chicken, it's okay if I just do it like, for 10 minutes, because it's going to have another hour of cook time to help soften up the chicken or the seasonings while the chicken's cooking. Chop this up. Let me go stir my seasonings again. If you can tell, the grittiness is starting to lessen up a little bit. The main difference is like bloom versus unbloomed seasonings is the flavors will all develop a nuttier, richer flavor pretty much. I'm going to put away this heavy cream and cilantro for now, because I'm not going to need them for over an hour. That's all going in at the same time. Let me go rinse off this line. Set you in the fridge as well. Okay, and that is all the cut work for this. Pretty easy peasy. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse this off, and then get the camera rotated so you can actually see. So visually, this looks more like just a red chili oil. And now, if you could see, hold on, the granules are a lot finer. So I'm going to crank up this heat and get this ready for the chicken. Chicken. Try to make sure you don't see all my arm again. I saw that in the last video. I edited out a lot of my arm in the last video. You're going to go ahead and let that chicken just be there by itself for a little bit. You're going to try and wait for the chicken to get a little more browning all the way through. You're not going to get fully cooked, you just want to get a little bit of the sear in there. I'm going to go ahead and open my canned tomato product in the background. The chicken has gotten the appropriate amount of sear. Onion is going in. That's going to go for about 5 minutes on its own before I add in the tomato product. So I'm going to pause the video for a bit. Out of there. The onions are becoming partway translucent. And then I forgot to add the ginger. I'm going to go ahead and add this tomato paste in there as well right now before I add the crushed tomato. chicken flu. So there's all that tomato paste in there. Gonna let that go for a second. But also there's a lot of liquid, so it kind of absorbed all and made like a decent looking sauce already. The chicken's actually probably approaching fully cooked at this point. But I want it to get like melt in the mouth, so it's gonna need a little while longer. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my crushed tomato. Get that mixed in there. Now what I'm about to show you now, this is actually about the final consistency I want of the sauce, but since I need this chicken to get tender, I need to add some liquid. So there's some wiggle room so it can reduce. But if I didn't add any additional liquid, it would get the current sauce would get very pasty. So I'm gonna take the last of this chicken base I got. Thin out the sauce a little bit. Add a little more chicken grease. Hit with a little salt and pepper now. We'll reevaluate at the end. If it's too salty, the heavy cream will help balance that out at the very end. Give that a quick stir. So this is about what you want before you start simmering it. That way there's a little bit of wiggle room when it cooks down so it gets back to the desired consistency. Put my lid partially on that so it can also evaporate. Reduce my heat greatly to about half. And that's going to do its thing for, I'll check in about 30 minutes before I add my zucchinis in. So I'll be back with y'all later. Howdy y'all. So we're coming back. This is what it is. The chicken's actually pretty much done. So that means I need to get these zucchinis going. But if you can see, if you look at that line up here, where my spatula was touching, that was originally where all this liquid was at. Now, had we not added that chicken stock, or just water in general, we would be having a pretty thick, pasty, but tender chicken here. So, yeah, that's why you add a little bit of extra liquid if you're going to be simmering the stew down for an hour plus. So I just dumped all the little squash in there. I'm gonna let that go for about 10 minutes. I guess I can add the cilantro paste at this point. I just don't want to add the cream just yet. So let me finish that one out. So that was about this is about 3 tablespoons of cilantro I've added in here. And I'm going to go ahead and just fold it in. And I'll be back with y'all in about 10 minutes. Add some cream and some lime juice. And this will be done. Alrighty. No, my spatula. Yeah. See how I did. There you go. So, the squash, and now nice and tender. So I'm going to go ahead and squeeze these 4 limes in here. And I'm going to mix those limes in there first. That way, that juice won't immediately interact with the heavy cream, and the heavy cream will separate. So lime juice is all incorporated, and then I'm just going to add about a cup of heavy cream. Pretty much just to change the color from this reddish orange to more like orange. So that was about 1 cup. You could do heavy cream or yogurt. They would typically do like yogurt or something cultured, different thickened cream. Just stir it around until it's pretty much all the same color. This is the part where I might need to resalt it, but we'll see. Oh, it's beautiful. Then let me. This is a little piece of chicken. I'm going for another one because that was wonderful. So that is that. That is all that needs. So that was my butter chicken. There goes my clean white shirt. That was my poor choice. It actually did not land on me all the way. That's a very pleasant surprise. So this is my baby. So this is about 2 pounds of chicken in the yogurt marinade I described earlier. I'll list that back at the video. About 1.5 pounds zucchini, 1/28 can of tomato, crushed tomato, 1 6-ounce canned tomato paste. Let's see, 2 onions. Bulk garlic, 3 tablespoons ginger paste, let's see, 2 tablespoons Garam masala, 1/2 tablespoon cayenne pepper, 1 tablespoon of cumin, 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, 1 tablespoon of turmeric, salt and pepper to taste, 4 tablespoons of butter, a little bit of ham spray, about 1 lime's worth of juice, 3 tablespoons of cilantro puree or chopped cilantro, whichever you find, and then a cup of heavy cream at the end. And I'll go over the list again when I post that video. Yep, that was my butter chicken. All right, thank you all. Bye.